Giving Back with Deji, and we are live today. Welcome to Giving Back with Deji, and we're live right now. I'd like to say welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We'd like to say a big thank you to all those that have been with us for the past 8 episodes. We've had 8 episodes successfully, and today we begin a new series called we actually we call it the episode 2. So 2 is going to start with a different approach entirely. But before I go into the in-depth discussion of why we're starting episode 2 this way, I would like to also let everyone know the reason why Giving Back with Deji was what give back to Giving Back with Deji, so everyone is on the same page what we're trying to do. Giving Back to Deji born out of a desire to help as many people as possible, those who need some information about life, about career, business, family, and how to improve themselves generally. And we began this journey by inviting people to talk about their life, their journey, how things have gone for them, especially in their career. A lot of people have shared a lot of deep insight, information that a lot of people can learn from. And we had 8 episodes. We had human resource professionals, we had health and safety professionals, we had people from the gig economy, we had people from leadership, and we had a lot of combination of a lot of guys who came here to talk to add value to our life. But episode 2 begins today, and and I'm going to start this episode by telling my story. Now, I know a lot of people will be wondering who Deji Ogunmola is. Why did you even start this? What's the brain behind it? Why do you want to give back? I'm giving back to everyone who has the opportunity to watch this video, and for everyone who will come on this platform to give back with me to the world, because I believe that in our journey in life, we have a purpose here. And in our journey in life, we will only be remembered for the legacy we left behind. And some of the legacy we leave behind, people will come in the future and want to look back and learn from those stories you've told. They want to learn from the things that you have experienced, and then they want to grow with it. And that's why Giving Back with Deji was born. Today I'm going to talk about my story, but I'm going to talk about it in the context of preparing for your future. Now, a lot of bullet points I've written down actually from my life, from personal experiences from my life, and how I'm able to prepare for what the future holds. Now, I know a lot of people, the future. The fear of the future is that you don't know what the future holds for you. A lot of people feel that they need to hasten to get into the future before their time. That if we even know what the future holds for us. And people are so excited about what the future holds. A lot of people are so engrossed with what the future has for them, and they do not pay attention to the day-to-day life that they live and the kind of the blessings that they have at their disposal. So I'm going to start with my story, Deji Ogunmola. Who is Deji Ogunmola? Now I'm going to talk about Deji Ogunmola as who I am as of today. Today, I will say that I'm a sales and personal development coach. What I do in every sphere of my life is to add value to people. I'm passionate about people. I like to add value to people. I'm excited people to optimize their potentials. By doing that, they learn from me, I learn from them, okay? And I go out there to get more resources to add value to people. Whichever way, it's a win-win for me. So I know that I'm adding value to people. Today we're talking about preparation for your future. So I'm going to start by talking about my childhood, a little bit about my childhood. I was born into a very large family. A large family, when I mean I had 13 siblings, definitely not from same mother, okay? And the experience was very good because that experience, by default, threw me into understanding people and man, because I had 13 different personalities I have to live with all my life. So I learned a lot of personality people I live with. So that tells you a little bit about my background and how it affects what I do today. Okay. So I know that as a result of the kind of background or the kind of family I came from, understanding how people think comes to me naturally. I can understand how people think. I can anticipate how people will behave when a person reacts in a certain way. My emotional intelligence, because of the kind of family I came from, okay, gives me other people who probably who come from a small family. And I grew up in a family, and I was born with a stuttering defect. What some people term as stammering. I was born, and I knew that I found it difficult to believe that I was the only one who stuttered. Everyone around me could speak perfectly, but I was always stammering. I was stuttering. I could not express myself very well to people. And when I'm around people and people take advantage of me, it generates this anger in me, and I want to go aggressive against people. As a child, that was so I could not express my people and myself, and a lot of people took advantage of that. But I knew that as I was growing as a child, I knew that I could not continue to be that way. And as a young child, I knew that I had to learn how to communicate very well. That taught me this principle I'm about to share today: preparing for your future. Now, as a young child, I discovered that everything in life has to do with preparation. Before any word come out from my mouth, what I do is I rehearse this over and over and over. So for anyone here who is listening and you have a stuttering child, I can tell you this is a principle that got me out, and I have seen it work in a lot of cases. I did not know this principle. I did not learn this principle from anybody. When I grew up and I started reading books, I saw that was the same principle that psychologists or therapists use to get a lot of children or adults from stuttering. So what I do is whenever I need to speak, I need to say something in the garden with people, right? So what I do is I say those words to myself close to 4 to 5 times before I now speak that word out. And every time I do that, I see that I do not stutter. That was a habit I developed, and that helped me get out of the stuttering defect. So that gave me some childhood memories of that. If I need to get anything done, I need to get myself mentally into the future first. Now, know what I want to do, then backtrack, and then start building the process on how to develop or to deliver that product or project to people. As a young child, that was my foundation. So because of that defect that I had, that helped me to learn the skill of preparing myself before anyone, or before presenting anything, or before opening my mouth to say anything to anyone. Now, the mental journey into the future is actually the principle behind preparing for the future. Mental journey into the future, first off, to take away any fear, any anxiety, any doubt. Now, I do not want anyone to feel that anything I'm saying right now is all scribbled out somewhere. I'm speaking from my heart. So this is me being real, and probably because I have done this speaking to people a lot, or on platforms like this, it might look like it comes in natural, but actually how life has taught me. Okay, so the mental journey into life now, into any feat I need to perform. So for example, a typical example. Now, when I when I graduated from the university, and I started looking for the opportunity for jobs, I knew that a lot of things were working against me. The economy of the country I was working against me. The population of people who were better qualified than me was working against me. My looks were working against me. My demographic was worked against me. But I knew that I had to stand out. And I understand that the only way I can stand out in that kind of environment was to be exceptional at what I do. So what I did was to make sure I build my relationships with people, to see how people who aspire to become like, who have gone some steps ahead of me, have the way they live their life, and then I take a thing or two from them, and then I start living that kind of lifestyle, or I start preparing, and I get to know some of the rudiments, the things that they build their life with, and I start building up. So I had a friend, a very close friend. I know one of these days I'm going to bring him up here. His name is John. We had a crazy idea that we're going to buy our first car, and I sold this my principle of preparing for the future to him. And one of the things he said was, "Okay, great, come on, let's go to the parking lot where cars are sold." And so we went there and took our house keys, and we're dangling it. We took bikes to that location. We parked far off and took a walk into the parking lot where we had the car dealers, and then we're negotiating cars, and we're getting the price of cars. And what that does to you is, it's a simple principle, and I don't know if anyone has observed this principle, that the day your mind is fixed on a particular thing, every time you just begin to see those things around, and that begins to get things attracted to you. Some call it the law of attraction. So what that means is, for example, the day you decide, okay, I want to get a BMW, let's say X3, for example. Okay, from that day onward, you begin to see that all cars around the streets that you move, you begin to see just BMWs, and you'll be wondering, what's up? Are there only BMW around in these locations? And that's the principle some people call law of attraction, whereby the things that you want, the future you have mentally taken a journey in, you get attracted to those opportunities begin to open up to you. Now, do not get me wrong. I am not taking away the place of God in any of this. Okay, I'm a Christian, and I believe in God, and also He orders your step and blesses you. However, one of the principles is that there is a blessing for everyone who is a child of God. However, if you do not take conscious steps to get what you want, you will remain where you are. That is why in the Bible, Jacob took the blessings from his father, went to a foreign land, right? Served for 14 years, rich, was journeying back to where his brother Esau, that he stole the blessing from, was living, only to discover that Esau was way more prosperous than him. Why? Esau exacted these principles of working hard and doing his bit every day to become a better person, and then he became prosperous also, better than Jacob. You can go do your research in the Bible so you can understand what I'm talking of. So as a child, I discovered that in order for you to achieve anything, mentally project yourself into the future, see exactly what the future look like, then begin to backtrack yourself. Remember, I said I was stammering. I could not speak fluently like the way I speak right now. So I do a rehearsal of everything I need to say or anything before I present it. So for example, if my dad sends me on an errand to go buy something, for example, when I'm coming back, because I know he hates hearing me stutter, so what I do is I rehearse what I'll say to him as a feedback before I get to him. And eventually when I have to speak to him, I just speak to him straightforward and I move on. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my failure journey as a teenager and my learnings. So I'm going to speak from my, as a teenager, academically, I did not see myself as someone who was so outstanding. I had a lot of effort for art. My parents, during my childhood, my parents had this mindset that anyone who had flair for artwork was going to be a poor man all his life. So it was very difficult for me to concentrate on that because I was always taking on that interest. So I focused more on the academic side of me that I should win. But I discovered that as I kept on, I discovered that I was not like the best of the best academically in class. However, I knew that I had some strengths in numbers. Numbers were my strengths. If we were looking at data, right, you're looking at numbers in class, probably mathematics, I was on top of the class when it comes to that. But when it comes to reading and it was very difficult for me to catch up with it. But I saw that I had to exert a lot of energy in order to get what I want. And as a result, during my trying to cross over from the secondary school to the university, it took me a while to do some of these exams over and over, eventually through, and I got into the university and all of that. Now, I saw all those failure learnings as one of the tools for me to understand that failure was part of life. Now, I know a lot of us, some people who are listening to me right now, probably you've never had the opportunity where you fail on any feat. You get into things, you do it one time, and then you succeed. Okay, I didn't have that. I didn't have that liberty. So for everything that I want to achieve, I observe that I make mistakes, I learn from those mistakes, and then I move forward and I become better at it. All right. So my failure as a teenager while in school or learning a lot of things made me know that failure was one of those things. And because of that failure that I had several failures, especially in academic side, it built this tenacity in me that nothing breaks me. Okay, no matter the hard knocks that come, what it does for me is it builds me and it makes me to be more aggressive about achieving the things that I said before me. So that's one principle that helped me a lot. Okay, as my failures. And then one other thing that I discovered that also helped me a lot was relationships with people. Now, relationships, when I talk about relationships, I'm not talking about relationships with colleagues. I'm talking about people who are your reports, people who are your colleagues, and people who are your superiors. Now, I discovered that in order for you to get the best from the future, you need to work with people. Now, I also know that my future depends on the relationships I've built around people. Everyone that I meet, somehow I just believe that relationships with people have its way to connect you in the future somehow. All right. So let me explain so you understand. Now, from my story, I knew that if I had to, I knew that anyone that I come across with I did not meet them by accident. I met them deliberately because God wanted me to meet them, and also it was appointed for me to meet them. However, just like it's mentioned that your first impression determines first impression lasts longer in the minds of people. I believe that my kind nature, my gentle nature, or my relating with people well and behaving with people well, not just on the first time, on the second time, on the third time, okay, will make me, right, will make those people to connect to me over and over and want to be around me. So I make sure that whenever I'm with people, I drop content that makes sense, because I know if I do not drop content that makes sense, they will see me as that person who is low, number one, and number two, someone who has nothing to give. So I'm always very cautious about making sure that the people I relate with, either in who are my superiors, or people who are my colleagues, or people who are my reports, either at work or anyway, understand I relate to them just like we are one. Okay, so that made my team playing skills. It improved my team playing skills. All right, so and that also helped me to understand mutual respect, because that over the time, all the jobs I've gotten at one time or the other, all the opportunities I've gotten came from people I had worked with, who are my colleagues, who are my superiors, or people who are my reports. They recommend. So most of the jobs I've gotten came out of recommendation, and that let you know how I treasure it more than anything. Now, when it comes to equating between finances and relationship, I esteem relationship higher than finance. That's because I believe that the people I relate with today will get me the kind of opportunities I need for the. I do not joke with my relationship with people, and I take it as priority. I know a lot of people who have met me at one time or the other. We see that my relating with them over the years, you can see that I've related with. I have people who have been connected with me for decades, and some of those people that have connected with me for decades are the ones I've been bringing on, giving back. You know that my relationship with them over the years, I have not messed up those relationships, and that's to let you know that the relationships have grown over the years. Mutual respect with people and relationships, I've discovered there are bigger currencies than money. I can trade my relationships and I can get better money. Meaning that if there are some things I need to achieve today, there's 1 or 2 or 3 people I need to talk to that will know something or will have experienced it. And one major person who I do not joke with, who is my major mentor, I know he will not like the fact that I'm mentioning his name on this my platform. But I'm glad because very soon he's one of the people that will be coming on this episode 2 with us to be sharing some session. His name is Koforola Ayodele, and I'm going up here someday, and you will see the kind of person I'm talking of. Now, I learned a lot of things from him. One of the major, I met him 1999. Okay, and my relationship with him over the years have grown. I met him in school. We were students together, but he was in the final year in school while I was a freshman in school. And I learned a lot of things from him. He has given me counsel on career. He's given me counsel. So I work with mentors a lot. There's nothing about me that is like strange to my mentors. Another person that I met, not because I planned it, but was because I met my wife. Okay, so I met my wife, and when I met my wife, I met my father-in-law through her, and it was like destiny came to me. And one of the major things that I've learned is every bit of the career path I have gone that I aspire to get to do, or all the journey I need to do career-wise, father-in-law had gone that path and he had succeeded at it, and he retired after doing that, and he was a success at it. It was more like fate just brought me to fate brought me to marry someone, okay, and the father just became my mentor automatically. I do not joke with his words at all. He shares me everything I know about career, business, about strategy, about skills at work, about relating with people. He has gone all these routes, and sometimes when I sit with him, it's like I need to. I don't know how I can pay him because I feel that it's sometimes I just look at him and I just thank God that I met that man, because he's added values to me. I do not joke with those values. Those are the 2 major I have that give me counsel on how to become a better man, especially when it comes to preparing for the future. So when it comes to preparing for the future, what I learned from Koforola Ayodele and in-law is that you don't start taking steps, okay, until you've evaluated everything you plan to achieve first. You evaluate everything and you use data to back yourself up. So before taking any step, or before people take any step around you, you must be well equipped with data enough to be able to protect yourself, be able to present information to people, and for people to understand what you're going to. And also, one major thing I learned from them is you need to understand the motive behind what people say. People don't just open their mouth to talk. The words are more like the package of the behind what people say. So that when you're relating with people, you need to listen to the motive first before you listen to the words. So when you're listening to the motive, that tells you exactly what they need to communicate, and that keeps you 10 steps ahead of that to plan and to prepare, so that you don't get the shock when those people pull the plug on you. Now, let's explain this. Now, this foundation of preparing for the future having to get into a lot of relationships with people. Some people, just by relating with them for some time, you know those people are not long-term with you. I know some people are short-term in relationship with you. So you need to understand how people play their part in your life and how you need to relate to them. Now, that does not mean that you need to get rid of the short-term people because of the long-term people. No, there are some long-term people, you need to understand the part they play in your life and you guard them jealously because you know that these people long haul with you. Okay, and the people who behave short term with you, you know how to behave, you know how to manage them also, because their short term relationship might end today but will be valid in the future also, maybe for a short term. So you need to understand how to manage your short term relationship with the people who you will categorize in your mind as a short term people, or people you categorize in your mind as a long term people. So let me explain. Now, the long term people, most of the long term people, for example, once you evaluate your relationship with them, you will know that you don't necessarily need to take money from them most of the time. What you need from them is the information they will give to you, the learnings, the mistakes they've made, and for you to climb on their shoulder. These are the people who will point direction. Those are the people that will change your 10 1 year just by giving you one valid information, transform your life. I have tons of people like that around me. Okay, and because over the years, those are the people I'll be bringing down to giving back with Deji. Long-term people, okay, that around me, what I do is that I guard them jealously. I don't allow anything when it comes to things like probably financial talk or probably anger issues. The moment I observe that there might be anything that will mess up that, I apologize because I need these people for the next 10, 20 or 30 years of my life. Just by profiling them, you know those people around you, because those people around you, they are not around you to cannibalize on you, and you are not around them to cannibalize. You know, it's a symbiotic relationship. At the same time, I hang around them because I want to get things from them, but I'm always looking for their own needs and how I need to feed into their needs, so they see that I also carry value that I can put on their table also. Okay, now for the short-term people who you know that things like, and please don't get me wrong, you can meet long-term relationship people in any sphere. It could be at your job. Okay, so a lot of people will go to work with the mindset that it's just this job that connected us together, so I can do whatever and walk away. No. You meet people today, their potential, or sorry, their value to you might not be. God brought them to you for the future. Body behind, because you do not know how you will need them. Trust me on that. Some of them you will never meet them in person, but they might be a phone. And for as many people around you that you meet, please be very quick to take contact of people. Understand, okay? Take their contact, because you will need them at one time or the other. Now, a lot of people have been around me, and a lot of people say, Deji, you know, you have too many people who you relate with like they are your friends, Trust me, let me tell you this, okay? I would not say they are my friends, okay? But I will tell you, value their relationship so much, so I do not want to lose the relationship for the future. Now, let's talk about short-term people. Now, the short-term people, once you see their behavior, most of the short-term people, you will observe that most of them are around you to, okay? They just need to get something from you, okay? Don't think those people, you need to cut those people off and done it. Yes, they need to get. So you need to understand what those people's needs are. Some of those people, their needs are basically just finances. Some of those people, their basic needs are just the fact that they need attention. Some of them, their basic needs is that they just want to associate with you so that they can get some connections, or they can get some influence. Okay, but you need to understand how those people play, right? Now, to manage them, since you know what they want, okay, know the limits where you set the boundaries for those kind of people. Okay, feed them with what they want, but do not be very careful so they cannibals on you and cannibalize you and take so much of your time and drain you. So you need to take breaks around those kind of people. Work with them for a while. You give yourself some breaks so that you can clear your head. Ways around you to get. Okay, and then you don't have anything. So you give them what they want, because when you've given them what they want, what you have done is you have sown a seed in them. You will need them in the future at one time or the other, but you need to understand that the moment you need them in the future, it might be their relationship that will connect you to something. Okay, so sorry I'm staying so long on this relationship, because this is one of the things, one of the major factor that I do not joke with relationships with people. People are the best resource in the world today. What I am doing right now, giving back with Deji, I know I am connecting with a lot of people out there. Okay, I do not know how far these videos have gone, but I want you to know that for everyone who will watch this video at one time or the other, the reason why these videos are coming is to connect and to share with you the principles that have helped me as a person, and I believe that it can add value to you. So let's go further. Now, let's finances, especially when it's preparation for the future, especially in finances. Now most people don't understand that a lot of people think that when you are in Nigeria, or you are in a country in Ghana, or you're in another location, probably in the US or in the UK, and you see something in the news, for example, let's say there's something happening in the news about someone in some other country. Most of us always believe that, well, it does not affect me. It's there. It's affecting them only. Please, I need to let you know, this world all connects together. Okay, and finances of everyone, directly or indirectly. Now we're in the global village because everyone, we are all we don't have this in. We are all interdependent on each other in one way. There's something that I produce in this country that the other person in another country is benefiting from. There's a way we connect with each other. One pronouncement from someone, especially probably in one country about an economy, affects you at that village in Nigeria, or that village in Ghana, or in the UK, or that town in the US. You need to understand that everything connects together. It affects inflation. It affects your earning capacity. You need to understand that. So you need to understand what me and how it affects you. So I have a job, X amount. Okay, that is what I need to live my life with. Now I see a lot of people who, after spending like a year or two, become delayed with their earnings, and what they begin to do at that time is they begin on the organization where they work. They begin to look for all the problems in that organization. They want to they backbite about everything happening with everyone and everything, and they are not reinventing themselves. So this is it. If you need to grow your finance, you need to grow yourself, period. In order for you to prepare for the future when it comes to getting financial increase, you need to invest in yourself. Nobody. Now, if you expect the organization to invest in you, you are living in a mirage. If the organization invests in you, very good. But please, I need you to have this at the back of your mind, that no one invests better in you than yourself. And the only way you can invest in you is getting all the learnings you can, either formally or informally, connecting with people who have gone ahead of you, going and paying your premium to get some learnings to become better. Now, you can reinvent yourself from whatever you are now. I can tell you this. I have seen people who have started their career in a particular field and then changed to another field just by taking one particular learning, and that just transformed their whole career. So you need to understand that in order to prepare for the future, which is our topic for today, you need to understand that you need to invest in yourself. If you need to be attractive to another employer, if you're with an organization that you do not like, and you want to grow within that organization, you must invest in yourself in order to see those opportunities for growth within those organizations. Number one. So for example, if I am, let me use a contact center agent example. I'm in a contact environment, and I see that it's a huge contact center, and I want to get opportunities for growth within the organization. Okay. And I know that within the contact center, that is a peak. I need to become either a supervisor or a team leader or a manager. Okay. Now, if I do not take out my time to invest in myself for personal learning or relating very well with people who are the managers in the organization to learn skills from them, moving close to them to ask them questions about what they do. What do you do as a manager? Can I see what you do? Can I help you with this? Can I do this? Building those relationships, what it does is open the opportunities. Because the manager, when he sees the opportunity for growth within the organization, he's going to pitch you to get those opportunities. However, if your antenna is looking outside, okay, you need to understand that knowledge keep evolving every day. What you knew yesterday is not what will happening today. I was speaking to a friend who is a software developer some days ago, and he said he went for an interview, and when he got to the interview and they were asking him questions, all the things they were saying, it looked strange to him. He has built fantastic product. I have witnessed a lot of product is built, okay, but it looked like he was obsolete because he had not invested in himself, and he had to tell himself, no matter how I am loved by the organization where I work and I am a star there, outside this organization, I am obsolete. So I need to start building myself. So he started getting a lot of learning, personal learning, and trust me, COVID-19, a lot of things very easy. There are a lot of platforms there where you can pay, right, and just learn by yourself. All you need to do is just pay for data, do a subscription, and into some of these learnings and get them. There are a lot of them that are free online. See, if you are hungry for knowledge and hungry for personal development, what you will do is to look out for them. And one of the major things that I advise people to do is go to Google, search for those opportunities. Just type, probably let's assume you are in the medical, let's say you are in the medical field or you're in any other field, just type on Google, in my country, where can I learn this? Now, let me shock you. Now, a lot of people do not really understand that. Like, you've had a lot of people say, oh, I do not have enough money to get a lot of things done. There are a lot of free platforms, a lot of skills. And every organization or any opportunity out there, okay. I'm going to have another episode where I'm going to talk about all of list them out to you. Okay, so you understand how you can reinvent yourself, develop yourself so that you can be attractive. You to give out. Okay, if you don't have value, the future will not give you anything. You need to have that at the back of your mind. All right, so inflation equation will affect you. So you need to ask yourself what you are earning today. Inflation rate, what is the real value? So let me give you a typical example. Let's assume the inflation when you got a job, let's say is 100. Let me use dollars for example. Is $100. Okay, the inflation rate in that country was like maybe 10%, and all of a sudden the inflation rate jumped to 25%. Now your $100, right, which you were earning when it was 10%, by that drop, by that increase in inflation to like 25%, what has happened to that your $100 is you're actually earning $85 because your purchasing power has reduced. So you need to be asking yourself some sincere questions. It's not just about getting dissatisfied with your boss that you are not being paid well. You need to ask yourself, what do I need to do to get out of this organization, number one? Or what do I need to do within the organization to reinvent myself, to make myself valuable so that I can get better opportunities? You need to have at the back of your mind. Okay, so finances, look at the finances, listen to the news. Every unrest happening in any place affect you directly, because it's going to affect the potential of the country where you are. It's going to affect the inflation, the instability, or how things are run in that country. Also, in my career journey, I also discovered for me to, just like this, what we're talking about today, preparing for your future. I know that in order for me to get better opportunities, to look at two things. Now, I came up with 3 major things you need to look out to make the change if you have to leave one company to the other. Now, a lot of people just jump from one company to the other when they get opportunities. But I need to let you know there are a lot of things you need to consider before taking new opportunities in any organization. There are three major things that I've had for me. Remember, this episode is my personal story, so you need to understand. I have shared this principle with a lot of people and it has worked for them. So let's talk about it. If I have any opportunity for a job right now, let's assume I for a new organization. There are three things I'm going to look at. Number one, I'm going to look at it. Will it give me, number one, the better salary? That's better pay. Criteria number one. Criteria number two, what I look at is the organization I'm going to a bigger brand than the brand that I am in right now? That's my criteria two. Criteria number three will be that the role I am given, is it a bigger role than what I have right now? So those are three criteria that I look out for. However, if in that opportunity that I get a bigger pay, right? I get a bigger role and the organization is a bigger brand, okay? If I be in this my equation, that is an excellent move for me. That means that I am making a fantastic move to another organization, okay? In preparing for the future, you need to understand that those are the things you look out for. Number two, what if out of the three, I only get two, meaning that probably the organization is a bigger brand and it's a bigger role, but I'm getting the same salary? You can go for that opportunity also. So what you have of your mind is, because you're going for a bigger brand and a bigger role, that will be your bargaining chip for the next position you will get. Because every organization that you're going to now, you can now decide, okay, I want to go to a smaller brand, and because I had a bigger role with that bigger brand, I can negotiate for bigger salary and get that bigger salary than what you lost. Okay? Now, what if it's another two? Let's look at the next two. You got a bigger salary and you got a bigger brand, okay? But the position you got is the same position, okay? Or a lesser position. That's a good move. Why? Because you got a bigger salary, so that bigger salary can take care of your financial needs. The bigger brand can give you the kind of status and the opportunity for you to be able to bargain better for other opportunities in the future with another organization. So that's 2 over 3. So the three equations, you need to look at it. If you get 2 over 3, that's a good one. If you get 3 over 3, that's a good one. But if it's 1 over 3, please stay where you are. Stay in the company that you're working. Okay? If you get 1 hour where you are, it's not yet time to move, because that's a bad move. So what I mean is, for example, remember the 3 points. Point number 1, bigger organization. Point number 2, bigger brand. Point number 2, bigger salary. Point number 3, salary and benefits, sorry. And bigger, point number 3, you're looking at your new role, a bigger role. So if you get the 3 over 3, good. 2 over 3, good. 1 over 3, please stay where you are, because that's not a good move. It's going to haunt you. I learned this principle from my mentor, so I'm giving it to you free, okay? I learned those principles from what I perceived out from my mentors, but those are the points that I built out. This is a Deji me. I'm giving it to you free. It has worked for me. All right. Another thing you need, family goals. Let's assume as a man, you want to buy a car, or you want to build a house, or you want to do something, and you're trying to prepare for the future. One of the things that most people always people don't really understand is, in trying to build the future, okay, preparing for the future, your finances matter as a family. Now, if you earn $100, let's take dollars as the basic currency that we're discussing right now, and inflow is $100, and at the end of each month, what you spend is $150, there's a problem somewhere. Okay? It's either your lifestyle. There's something about your lifestyle that is hitting into that $100 that is making you spend more. If you're spending $150, what that means is that there's a problem. You are touching the money that should go into family goals or savings to help you build something better for your life in the future. Or number 2, what is going to do what you is either you are living beyond you. Sorry, you're actually living more than your means. Okay, so you need to understand how to put a balance in it. So you need to ask yourself, what do I cut down as a family in order to begin to achieve? So yeah, savings. There are a lot of savings. I know there are these osusu that is done in a lot of people do this osusu thing, which the people call the cooperative. There are a lot of contract packages we do with some banks to help you. There are a lot of opportunities that you can use to save. However, you need to look at your lifestyle. Your lifestyle determines if you can see how you save or not. So you need to ask yourself the kind of school your children go to. You need to ask yourself, can you afford the kind of car you drive or maintain? Can you afford the kind of house you live? Okay, you need to ask yourself those kind of questions, because that will determine if you move forward, if there's anything in the future for you at all. Okay, so most of us, what we have done is we have actually eaten into our future. There's a book I would like to recommend to everyone. Please, you need to go look at that book. It's written by Mensa Otabil. It's called Buy the Future. I think that will help a lot of people understand some of the concept that I'm talking of right now. Okay, so you need to understand that that whatever you earn, you need to live with what you earn and live with your means, and live within your means, your income. That will actually help you to become a more successful person and help you stage a better future for yourself. Okay, so let's talk about finances now. Now, someone made a principle and shared with me that if you own anything that you cannot replace, if those things get damaged or if those things are no longer there, okay, if you cannot replace those things, do not buy it. If you have anything and you cannot replace it instantly, okay, if anything goes wrong, do not buy it. People say, then why is insurance there? Good, then you pay for insurance when you have those kind of things. You need to make sure that you have those things insured. So just in anything goes, okay. But as much as possible, live within what you earn. It helps you a lot. Now, what about business people? Now, business person that is doing that, whose earnings or what comes in as a business is at a particular, probably, let me use $100 again. Okay, $100 is a guaranteed run rate for you as a business. You know your run rate is $100 every month. That's your run rate. Okay, and you also know that you want to achieve some things. Now, what you need to look at is whatever stands as your expenses. Okay, if they go above your $100, okay, every month, then there's a problem. Because you need to understand that business, when it's business, sometimes you have the good days, sometimes you have the days. Okay, so the good days might be $100. Okay, sorry, your baseline might be $100. Okay, and those are the bad days, and the good days can be probably like $1,000, for example. So you plan with your baseline. Okay, when you plan with your baseline, what happens is any other thing that comes in as profit, okay, that helps you to to plan for what you need to achieve in the future. So if you need to build a house, if you need to buy a car, or you need to do those things, this is how you save towards it when it comes to preparing for the future. And remember, the first foundation I talked about when we started this discussion is you need to know how to mentally take yourself into the future first. If you want to buy a house, okay, make friends with people who have houses. If you want to buy a car, make friends with people who have cars. Why? You need to understand how to maintain those cars. You need to understand what they go through maintaining those cars. You need to understand what it means for those people who have built houses to go through that process. Those who have bought houses to go through that process. You need to have friends or affiliation, or you need to have relationship with those kind of people, because those kind of people rub off on you. Please trust me. I had this statement some time ago. You are the average of your 10 friends. So look at all your 10 friends. Okay, look at all the relationships around you. You are the average of them. If you have friends that are who spend all their money doing nothing, okay, and you are around them, you have like 10 of them. That is who you are. You cannot stand out of those people. So you're an average of whoever are your 10 friends, your 10 top acquaintance. Let me use acquaintance, not friends. Okay. And one more thing that I've discovered about your preparing for the future is passion for what you do. Now, if you're passionate about what you do, what it does is it opens more opportunities for you in the future. See, passion can be perceived. People can perceive when people are passionate about a thing. Passion plus the learnings you've gathered from personal investment in yourself, plus financial diligence and planning, plus relationships with people, managing people very well. Those are all the criteria you need for preparing for a better future for yourself. It has worked for me as a person. I will not say I've achieved too much, but I have not achieved, actually, because I don't see myself as achieved, because every day I keep learning. Some weeks ago, a family member was speaking to me and he said, Deji, I am so surprised at how people who you've known for like 10, 20 years, that you're still in good relationship with them. This is a principle. I don't burn the bridge behind. See, in this journey of my life, a lot of people have cheated me of money. A lot of people have taken a lot of things from me. A lot of people have taken what rightfully belongs to me. A lot of people have taken my intellectual property. But it does not break me. Why? Because I came from a background where failure, okay, and being given those hard punches had built those tenacity in me that it does not break me. All it does for me is I've learned another way not to be cheated next time. And I stand up, package myself, and I begin to move. How life is. The future, it's your future. It's not their future, okay? They have hit you hard, cheated you, taken from you, and they've gone away. It's not their future. It is your future. So they hit you hard, and then you wallow in it. They will move on and continue to progress in their life. So, do you want to build a better future for yourself? If the answer is yes, dust it off, build more relationships, be who you are. The principle I forgot to mention is the principle of integrity. Okay, now, let me say this. All the opportunities and all the businesses I have, people I'm business with or anything, nobody can say I have taken what does not belong to me. I live with what I have negotiated for. So that's why before I get into any organization, I take my time to negotiate very well, because I don't want anything to pop into my eyes like this belongs to the company and then I want to put my hands in it. So I negotiate very well. Why? Because I understand that what I have, I need to live within the I earn. Okay, I need to relate in the organization or in the business where I work. I understand those who are my short-term people and those who are my long-term people, and I relate to them based on that. Okay. Also, I understand that when I need to work with people, I need to hang around people who have tasted the future I need to enjoy, and I hang around them, get all the learnings from them so that I become better. These are all the principles that I've learned in my life. This is my story. Deji Ogumola before you. And those are the things I've learned. Okay, I'm going to stop here because this is all I have to say right now. There are a lot of things I would love to share, but this will not be the platform. I know we will have a lot of opportunity in Giving Back with Deji to learn a lot of things. I need you all to understand that Giving Back with Deji platform that was created, it was created strictly to add value to people. All that I have learned as a person, all that I have seen that has happened with my friends or people who I've had acquaintance with, bring them up here to share their story and add value to you. I'll do my best to bring them here. Okay, keep bringing content back to back until we know that we have added enough as many people as possible. Please, if you have this video after watching this video, share this video to your friends and families. Let them learn. You can channel. We have a YouTube channel, Deji Ogumola. On Twitter, we are live on Twitter. Also, you can watch this video on Twitter, Deji Ogumola. On Facebook, we're on Facebook Live. We're streaming live, Deji Ogumola. We're streaming live on YouTube also. We're also streaming live on Instagram. Okay, you can out also. Please share this video. Let people learn a thing or two. Those are my stories, and I've shared, and I'm glad that I've shared these stories with you. Well, rounding up already. This is 5 minutes to the close of the time. Next week, remember we started. This is episode 2. We've finished. We are done with season 2. We're done with season 1. Season 1, we had 8 episodes. For those of you who would like to see some of the discussions on the 8th episode, visit, subscribe to my channel on YouTube. That's Deji. You can see all the videos there on YouTube. You can check my Facebook page and my Facebook page also. Those videos are there also. And on Twitter, you have those videos you can share with people. Please, let's give back to as many people as possible. I'm glad that I shared my story today. Next week, I'm coming with one of my very dear friends. I've been chasing her up everywhere, and she's been very busy. Next week, I'm not going to tell you right now what she's going to be sharing with us, but next week is going to be an exciting time. This time next week, 7 o'clock, we're going to have Giving Back with Deji one more time. And I'm expecting that everyone join us. Thank you very much for tuning in today. And I would like to say, have a great weekend, and we see you next week. Bye.